Okay, here's a crazy story that happened to me about, I don't know, maybe it was 8 or 9 years ago or something, maybe even 10 years ago. And I was out going after some problem surplus wolves in the valley where I live. And I had previously a rancher had donated a beef calf, dead beef cow. It's probably like, I don't know, 300 pounds or something, 300 or 400 pounds. Had donated it for the cause. So I had previously towed it behind the snowmobile all the way up this switchback mountain, the logging road, up the switchbacks and down along the straightaway, way up top of the mountain where it's steep like this. And I managed to drag with the sled right to the edge of the road, got off my snowshoes, and managed to get it over the edge of the road where it slid down the bank for a ways to use as bait for the wolves, which were way down below in the deer wintering grounds, pummeling the living crap out of the deer, and they're crossing the river like into the ranchers' fields. As an example, one of my neighbors, the wolves went right into his barn to kill a calf. So they were getting a little out of hand. So anyway, the plan was to take that beef cow way up top, is dead. It's going to start decaying and the scent's going to be starting to pick up better. Throw it over the bank, and during the night in the cold air, the scent from that calf is going to start sinking way downhill into the timber where those wolves are frequenting and draw them up, and where I can catch them and not catch any deer. So back then, I was still fine-tuning my skills as a successful, skilled wolf trapper, and take note, like, I'm not a trapper. The only reason I went and took the course, learned those skills, was so that I could play a role out here for conservation when the need arose to take care of problem surplus wolves. And that's why I went out and gained the knowledge years ago. So in the beginning, obviously it's trial and error, you make mistakes, you screw up. But take note, I do remember, when the trap instructor, when we took the course, they say flat out not to set your gear X amount of yards or feet close to a bait, because there's always the threat of catching raptors. A raptor's a hawk, eagle, ravens, birds of prey, scavenger birds. So you want to set a ways away from where your bait is. Back then, I thought I had set far enough away down the slope and around this beef cow, and it was really steep to get down to this thing. And it was only about, he probably slid down about 30 yards, 40 yards. You still see it pretty decently from up on top of the road. I went down there, set about a dozen snares, got all set up for the wolves and a big, huge perimeter, and I left. And then I think I waited about a week to go back for the first time to check. So when I went back, and I always bring a rifle with me when I'm trapping wolves, because obviously if you see some, you want to dispatch them with a rifle and not miss out on that opportunity. So I parked back with my sled back from way up there on the straightaway where I was going to peek over the edge to where there's possibly some wolves feeding, because I was hopefully going to peek over the edge and see some feeding on the cow, if there was some there, and dispatch a few of my little 243. So I'm stuck into the side of the road, and I'm sneaking along the road edge away from being seen from down below, and then I finally get out to the edge, and I didn't use my snow shoes. I left them back to the sled because there was a good enough crust where I was on the road from snowmobile traffic. I was just walking top of that track with my boots fine, not post-holing through. And I get up to the edge, and I slowly peek over, and all bird hell breaks loose. There was ravens and eagles all over the place, hammering on this beef carcass. So one of the eagles, I guess, little messy Marvin down there, Fat Albert, he had gorged himself. What I was imagining, he must have gorged himself pretty heavy with beef, and he went bouncing down the slope. It just looks like nice even snow-capped slope going down, and it snowed after I had dropped that beef cow off too. So the eagle goes bouncing down the slope, and all of a sudden you see him go, and he gets caught in a frickin' wolf snare. I'm like, oh shit, damn it. So I got to go down the bank and get this eagle out of this stupid snare. And you know what? He's not heavy enough. Their body weight isn't near heavy enough to cinch that snare loop up on him and kill him. So it's just holding him there like it would your dog in the backyard on a collar and a leash. So, and I'm too impatient. I don't want to go all the way back to my snowmobile to get my snowshoes, and it looked like nothing. I'll just bail over the bank and go down there and get this eagle out of there. So anyway, I went down there, And sure enough, I bail over the bank, then you're committed. Whoomp! I sink right up to my crotch, up to my waist in the stupid snow in some of the spots. I'm trying to stick under the trees where it's a little more firm. And I wrestle my way all the way down to this damn eagle. And he's sitting there looking at me, hissing at me. And I'm like, shit, how am I going to get a hold of this damn thing? So I had a vest on. I had a vest on top of my jacket. Now take note, in my vest pocket, I had my wallet and the keys to my truck and my trapping license. I had all my stuff zipped in the zipper pocket of my vest. You know, and some people might say, oh, why do you hide your keys of the truck? Everybody hides their keys of the truck. And I go, well, people hide their keys of the truck when they're with a partner, so that if they disappear, their partner can get the truck, the vehicle, and still operate it. So I'm by myself, everything's safe, in my pocket, zipped up, I'm good. And it's snow in the ground, so if there's thieves around there, no, I don't want to leave obvious footprints to where I hid the key in the box of the truck or wherever. They're going to have to, it's easy to read in the snow, everything anybody ever does. So, no big deal. I got my keys and my wallet in the zipped up pocket in my vest. So I'm like, shit, look at this thing. So he's right at my feet. So I took my vest off. So okay, I'll just take my vest off, throw it on top of him like a blanket, put my knee on him, grab him by the neck, and I'll get that snare loop off and let him go. So I throw the vest on top of him, and I still got my gloves on. And I went and I got on top of him, and all of a sudden he's on his back instantly. And so he's got one talon went into my vest, and this other talon all of a sudden went like this. It went, and it sunk through. I had these heavy leather mitts on for trapping, for winter skidoo travel, and they were heavy leather, double sewn leather on this side, on the palm side, and it was almost like a hydraulic press. That eagle's talons curled and clenched, and they clenched and sunk right through the leather like it was frickin' saran wrap. And it took me back. I'm like, holy shit. If one of those bald eagle talons went under your face or through your hand, it's going to thump the talon completely through you like your butter. It was amazing. Obviously I've never handled a live eagle before, and I've never studied their foot grip power, but I'm sure it is right up there. But it was amazing how effortlessly that talon, it's like a hydraulic press. Didn't even hesitate. It punctured through both sides of that mitt. Just missed my fingers. Like just skimmed my fingers, and he's clenching on my glove. I'm like, holy shit. So I grabbed that mitt, got the vest on top of that talon. So now I got him by the neck. He's hissing, trying to bite me, and I got him by the neck, and I got my knees on top of him. Get the snare loop off his neck, and I'm holding on to this thing. I'm like, shit, well, how the hell am I going to get rid of this damn thing without him like glomming onto me with these 2 feet in his beak? So I got up, and I thought, okay, well, take my other glove off, and I grabbed a hold of my vest. I was going to shake him out, like shaking the sand from your beach towel. So, and all in one quick move, so he wouldn't get a hold of me, and he'd fly away, and we'd all be safe, and I'll wrestle my way back up to the damn logging road to get to my snowmobile. And meanwhile, it's probably like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's getting late, and this time of year it's freezing frickin' cold. It's probably minus 15 or something. And I let go of his neck, grab the vest, and I go to shake him out of my vest, but his talons were deeply tangled into my vest, and the weight of the bird, the momentum of me shaking him, he ripped the frickin' vest out of my fingers, bounces, gets up, and flies away with my vest. Here's an eagle flying away from me with my vest, with my keys, with my wallet. Like, you gotta be kidding me. This isn't happening. I'm watching him, and he's not flying straight out. Like, he's flying down the mountain, and he's going in between saplings, and then finally stopped, and he landed on a snow hump, and I could just see him. And he was probably about 80 yards away, 60 or 80 yards away from me. And he's got my frickin' vest. So anyways, I'm looking at him on this snow hump. He's standing there, and I'm starting to feel a little panicky. I'm thinking, screw the frickin' eagle. I'm going to blow his head off to get my keys to my truck and my wallet back. Are you kidding me? And there's no shortage of eagles. But, you just start thinking this because you should be panicking. Shit's going down. You're in the middle of nowhere. And then right when I was thinking about shooting him, he gets up and flies away again with my vest in his talons, and he's going straight away from the mountain. So the mountain's steep like this, and he's going straight away. And it was amazing to see this eagle with my vest and my keys and my wallet so far off the ground. Because if you look down at the farm at the valley, it's way down there. It looks like a little tiny model display. Then he lets go of my vest. And you see my vest floating, falling all the way down. It's a slope. It's like, oh my God, no way. So off I go, trudging straight downhill in hopes to find my vest. I took note of a tree that I saw it skim by, and I kept my eye on that treetop as I wrestled my way all the way down there. And I found my vest, and I got it back, and I got the keys back, and I got the wallet back, and it was actually really relieving. And then I had to turn around and look back up that down mountain like this, post holding up to my waist and my crotch. It took for frickin' ever. It was pitch black by the time I finally managed to get myself up to that logging road, and then got to my sled, turned it around. I wasn't cold yet, but I was pretty frozen stiff because I was absolutely soaking wet from all the sweat. From that rustle back up the mountain, and then I took the snowmobile and I ripped back the truck, got it loaded up, and got in there, and I got home and thawed out. So there you go. That was the honest story recollection of the time an eagle took off with my vest and the keys to my truck, my credit cards, my money, and it was a real shit-eating feeling. I mean, how are you gonna get all that shit back from a frickin' eagle flying away with it? There you go. Crazy. Fun stories.